Welcome to this final chapter in the Landmark series, Sacred Texts versus Universal Rights, the Global Dilemma. In the blogs that preceded, we uncovered how strategic deception, especially through doctrinal interpretations like Taqiyya, has influenced not just belief systems, but legal institutions, digital platforms, human rights frameworks, and even the internal stability of democracies. We examined how international resolutions, academic structures, demographic patterns, and algorithmic censorship have quietly enabled sacred doctrines to operate beyond scrutiny. Now we pivot from diagnosis to defense. This final installment outlines rights-based solutions, legally sound, institutionally resilient, and democratically transparent. These are not weapons against belief, but shields for universal rights. The first step toward protection is recognition. Doctrinally sanctioned deception, Taqiyya, originally specific to the Shia tradition, has been expanded and interpreted by various groups to justify selective disclosure under strategic conditions. When such doctrines bleed into legal or public discourse, they threaten democratic clarity. One red flag is dual presentation of doctrine. In English, a metaphor; in Arabic, a command. In Bharat, we often find open doctrinal statements, but in global institutions, calculated ambiguity remains the norm. Institutions that suppress critiques and label them as phobia create selective immunity, not harmony. When media reports Asian men to cover a grooming case, it's not cultural sensitivity, it's narrative concealment. Strategic deception thrives in the dark. Sunlight must be our starting point. Democratic law must evolve. It cannot afford to treat ideological exceptions as sacred exemptions. It must remain neutral, not neutralized. We begin with a proposal for legal disclosure. Just as assets must be declared in court, litigants using religious claims should disclose relevant doctrines. This ensures transparency when rights are invoked in the name of belief. Next, neutral evidentiary standards must be applied to sacred texts. Courts should not rely on interpretive apologetics. They must begin with what is written, not what is explained away. Then, constitutional clarity. National and international legal frameworks must avoid codifying doctrinal immunity. Rights are indivisible. Gender, status, or law cannot be subject to theological override, however deeply held the belief. Judicial and human rights officers must be trained in deception-aware legal literacy. While no case may explicitly cite Taqiyya, the possibility of selective disclosure is real and must be anticipated, not to persecute but to protect legal integrity. And yes, international frameworks too must be assessed. For instance, UN Resolution 76-254 calls for respect of religious figures and symbols. Its spirit may be noble, but critics warn it could institutionalize selective immunity. When courts falter and media softens truth, citizens become the final firewall. Media literacy must evolve beyond feel-good slogans. Citizens must be trained to spot double standards, euphemisms, and narrative replacement. Academic reform is critical. The Gulf state funding shapes departments from Cambridge to Ivy League universities. We must question how such support influences discourse. Academic freedom dies when external ideology writes the syllabus. Political vetting must include awareness of demographic strategy, ideological misuse, and religious political overlap. Leaders must protect rights without caving to theological supremacy. And finally, citizen journalism must rise. From bloggers to independent researchers, they are democracy's last truth tellers. They need support, not suppression. Deception doesn't play for headlines, it plays for generations. Institutions, from judiciary to media, must be fortified. Regular audits, transparency of funding, and checks against ideological bias are non-negotiable. Globally, we need alliances of truth. Cross-border networks must share data, coordinate litigation, and develop multilingual tools to expose strategic manipulation. Educational reform will build the next firewall. Children must be taught the difference between faith, identity, and ideology. Only a literate generation can resist narrative engineering. Finally, we must reclaim the Western intellectual tradition, Enlightenment ideals, rational inquiry, and free speech. Appeasement is not peace. It is postponement of truth. When deception wears the mask of tolerance, democracy becomes a theater of shadows. This series has uncovered those shadows, from sacred immunity in legal systems to narrative filters in media. But recognition is not enough. Only rights-based resistance can neutralize strategic distortion. And this is your moment. Raise your voice. Reclaim your rights. Share this message. Challenge narratives. Educate others. Demand truth-based institutions and curriculum reforms. Stand with those who seek transparency, not taboo. Because this battle is not between belief and disbelief. It is between truth and concealment. Let the world hear you. Strategic deception ends where rights begin.